Yeah, I think one of the most difficult things to deal with when you start reaching some of your goals and start gaining some success, what they call survivor's remorse. Yo, I feel like one of the most difficult things to deal with and to overcome, start reaching some of your goals and start gaining some success is what they call survivor's remorse. When you feel bad maybe for other people that you were on the journey with, but maybe, they haven't, reached, their goals yet, but maybe you have. Sometimes like you start the race with your partners, with some of your family, you might be lapping, some of those people. A lot of times, especially us black folks, especially those folks that come from the hood, come from humble beginnings, it's difficult for us to not have almost that feeling of guilt. But what you have to think about is it's a couple of things. Number one, everybody's timing isn't the same. And you have to respect that just as much as other people around you that's looking to reach their goals, is that everybody's timing isn't the same. That's why you see, like, at times you have some people that as soon as they start something, they may gain some success from it. Some people, you start pushing towards your goals and it might take you 5 years, it might take you 10 years to get to your goals. Understanding that everybody isn't on the same timetable, that's one of the most difficult things with being successful and with achieving your goals. um, Feeling like you owe people something, feeling like the success that you've had, the things that you've obtained, that you owe other people something, because maybe they haven't reached their full potential yet. But what you also got to think about are the things that you've done, the sacrifices that you've made to get there. And not that you need to look at these other people around you or judge them or anything, but you have to understand that if you willing to put in that work, you willing to put in those hours, if you willing to make those sacrifices, maybe those fruits from your labor are coming a little bit faster. You being more disciplined. I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, "Man, I wish I could be as disciplined as you," or "Man, I wish I could. I wish I had the patience to do this like this." And you have to look at those types of statements and those types of things. Those are compliments because you are willing to take that extra step. You are willing to keep going, keep pushing, even when it doesn't seem likely. The biggest thing that you can't do, in these situations, I try not to look at other people's success or the rate in which they maybe have reached success and compare that, to my story, because everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. If reaching success was easy, then everybody would be successful. Everybody would have these riches that they want. Everybody would, have hit these accomplishments that they want to accomplish. So just like how, some people around us may pass away at different ages and things like that, we can't control that. Some people pass away at an early age. Some people live all the way to be 100 and something. What we can't do is compare our lives, our fates, things like that to other people, because all of us have a different story. The things that, our success is based on the steps that we took, the discipline, that we've had, the sacrifices that we've made, to get there. So survivor's remorse is, something that I used to suffer from. I used to feel bad for, but I've learned not to, because I had to learn to understand and respect the sacrifices that I've made to get to certain places that I've gotten to, that a lot of people aren't willing to. I know I've shared stories with people about different scenarios that I've been in, and you don't know how many times I've heard people say, "Whoo, couldn't be me. Whoo, man, I tell you, if I was in that situation, I would have did X, Y, and Z." When I hear stuff like that, I also look at, like the places that I've been, the heights that I've been able to reach, with some of my dreams. And I think to myself, yeah, it couldn't have been you. Yeah, you wouldn't have done it like that, because this is meant for me. and I am willing to make these sacrifices. I am willing to be disciplined, whether it's waking up at 6 in the morning, whether it's, changing negative habits that I've had and moving to, have more positive habits than negative habits. Those are all things that, that it takes to reach success. Being able to self reflect, which is one of the most difficult things to do because, of course, we don't ever want to think of ourselves in a bad light. But being self reflective is so important in bettering yourself because if you're not willing, look at yourself from a different lens, look at the good things, look at the bad things, and reflect on them and work towards getting better because you can even in success you should still look at the things that you've done to see how you can do it better for the next time. Something that I saw the other day was, I think I was watching Gil's Arena and they were talking about Russell Westbrook and how, like, after every game, no matter how many turnovers he had, no matter how many points he had, no matter what, he would go to the coach and ask for the game film, even if he had, double digit turnovers, because he wants to self reflect. He wants to be better every game. And most players, most people, if they're doing bad or if they do something wrong or if they do something that's not as ideal as it should be, they don't want to look back at those things. You almost want to hide behind those things. But if you could be self-reflective, be willing to make changes where they're needed, be willing to listen to constructive criticism, which is so important. You got to have good people around you. You can't just have yes men around you. A lot of people just want people around them that basically just give them props and make them feel good about what they're doing instead of having those people that will come and tell you those harsh realities. You know what I mean? I remember my partner Chase, he was doing a comedy show and we was out the country and he killed it. And I remember, him coming off stage and everybody, giving him props and, cheering for him and all that. And he looked at me and I was like, yo, great job, bro. But I put my arm around him and I was like, hey, man, you need to work on this. You should work on this. You did too much profanity when you were up on stage, bro. Like, work on this, for this particular type of crowd, all that. And it's funny because that's something that he, always thanks me for, is, for being that person that could be, super critical, not judging. You know what I mean? There's a difference too. Some people can't stand to see you being successful, can't stand to see you doing something great and just want to tear you down. I'm not talking about having those type of people around you because you can sense like when you got those people with the hater energy around them, the hater mentality. But having people around you that genuinely got love for you and that want to see you be great, even in the times where it's difficult, are willing to tell you the things that you need to work on. Those are the type of people that you need to have around you. So, make sure that you have good people around you. Make sure that you're willing to be self-reflective and make sure that you're willing to look at yourself through a different scope so that you can see what you need to do better the next time. And that's how you're going to be successful. And fuck survivor's remorse. And that's real spit from your boy Spit. Yes, sir.